I produce several crops, but I think I prefer doing onions. All right, I'll do cucumber. I have done cucumber, sweet pepper, the onions, and think about putting in some peanuts because you have to rotate the crops. Okay, this onion season started in November. I planted onions on the 15th of November last year. I have already reaped that, and I'm now doing a spring piece, which I started transplanting about 3 weeks ago.
Well, I'm doing an acre and 4 square right now on the irrigation, looking to expand this coming year to 3 acres of onions, yes, and sweet peppers as well, and other crops, and also looking to expand in the agriculture sector.
Basically right now, onion may produce right now. But normally, I do like pepper, cucumber, and other stuff, mangoes and stuff like that.
Yes, I've had my onions stolen this past onion season, the fall crop. I had to harvest the crop before it was actually ready for harvesting. Because when I came, I noticed that the onions, the big ones, were being taken out, and I did not remove them from the field. I didn't say anything the first time, but the second time I noticed the amount that was taken away had increased. So I said, definitely, somebody is passing through and removing it from the field without my permission.
This is the second onion crop that we have reported theft in Praedial Larceny.
It definitely affects your profit because you put in your onions expecting to get a particular weight quantity, and then when it is taken out, you would not get the quantity that you had anticipated. So that stolen amount would affect your profit. Every time I used to take out the onions too, I have experienced Praedial Larceny almost every crop that I do.
It will create an impact because I just put that as spoilage. Okay? Because each time you produce, if you produce cucumber, pepper, onion, you have to be certain that you're going to have spoilage. Okay? It can spoil it from the field, or it can spoil it somebody take away. So when those things occurred, I personal, I just regard it as spoilage. So I just never mention it to a policeman or one.
The JAS advocates on behalf of the farmers of Jamaica. Farmers have been suffering because when you look at it very carefully, if you are to lose $6 billion every year, annually, you say to yourselves, okay, the farmers of this country must really be a resilient group of persons who have lost so much but have continued, and they have continued in agriculture, and they have continued to fight and carry the fight, even to the Praedial thieves as well, too. Over the past 5 years, the receipt book sales have quadrupled in St. Thomas. It has just exploded, and St. Thomas has sold the most receipt books, to the best of my knowledge, in Jamaica at the moment. The police being able to stop these vehicles and to ask for receipt, that in itself is a big thing, because that has given them some momentum if there's no receipt, they can probably apprehend a person. So it has been the receipt book has been very good, and you can trace it back to the farmer and the farm that it has come from. When the Praedial Larceny unit came into St. Thomas, we found that the receipt book sales just plummeted. Not plummeted. It was rose up very high and went up to very great heights. And this, I know the unit has done a lot of work in St. Thomas here, And that has been the cause why the sales of receipt books have gone up.
Right, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority is the extension arm of the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, and we are the main engine of growth in the country in terms of farmers and agricultural production in this country. Right, firstly, we have a database of all farmers in the country, so that's under the AB system, and that is the Agricultural Business Information System, of which our officers in the field do register all the farmers that are there. And presently for St. Thomas, we have over 11,000 farmers on register in the parish. Therefore, we try to make a database that is current, although difficult, but it's current, that the police can use to find out if farmers say what they are selling or what they are producing is what they really have in their fields. For the fight against Praedial larceny, all of the players have to be in dialogue and in contact with each other. Right? Here in St. Thomas, we have a good relationship with the police. I can safely say that the farmers from Portland coming through the parish to the municipal market in Kingston, they always were afraid at some times to come through because the search and stop and search was that good in St. Thomas, that they take some other road sometime before they get themselves really compliant in terms of registration and the agricultural receipt. Within the parish, firstly we have an officer on our local advisory board, so we have direct contact with the officer within the field. With JS was on the board with us, so all the players were on the board. So in sync, everybody was in sync going forward. So we have discussion at all times, so the communication was good within all parties. 2 years ago, it was a slight decline, because a lot of persons were arrested and charged, so there was some decline.
I remember about 3 weeks ago, I at the farm up the top there, picked some onion out. So when this police car drive by, and it didn't go far, it just turned and come back and park, and me and the farmer noticed them, So the guy come out and say, "Hi," I'm a wave back, and he go back in the car. Him drove away and him stayed there and then him call. Come. Him say, I just get a call, so somebody has steal onion up here, sir. So you might get a call, but on my onion field. So I couldn't steal my onion. So I say, I'm the owner for the field. And say, okay. I say, all right. I really thank them still for the quick response.
Yeah.
Because them respond in that quick way. So if a thief was really there, it would have deterred them. You understand? So we have to give them thumbs up when it's necessary.
Well, we have a good relationship because the other day we had a seminar with the officers by the agro park, and they came and speak with us about the different areas in Praedial larceny and simple larceny and other aspects of it.
Sometimes you do, but it doesn't make any sense because the police not coming to do anything, they're not arresting anybody. But what we will do now as a group, the authors, we'll tell fellow farmers that, somebody came into the field and person will get more vigilant. I think it's onion season here, persons from Mr. Johnson's, but they came down at night because I'm not here now, but they will come down at night and look around with a flashlight. You could say we have a farm watch group. One of the strategy that the farm watch group have used, which I just mentioned a while ago, is to come down at night, hide out in the bushes, because as you see there are no lights here, and they'll hide out in the bush and listen, and watch. And sometimes I'm told that they'll use a flashlight, you know.
We have a good relationship, you know, because as me I say, those are some of our stakeholders, the RADA, JS, the police. We can give an next instance, you know. Me up at my house and a man call me and say, watch out. Me see a vehicle parked down your farm, you know. Me don't know who, you know. I mean, I take no check. Yeah. So me call the police and say, watch out, no officer, me have a problem, you know. There's a vehicle on my farm. The police said to me, go look and wish I walk on a vehicle and tell him the license number. See, there's something there. Me just rest it at that. Me just said to myself, sure, anytime I'm ready for drive, then drive. Me never even leave me hard for come. Because if them are the law, and me if you can look and see the license number of the vehicle for call them and tell them, probably if I come with that Denny, we need to tell them.
A few years ago, a police officer was here, I don't remember his name, but he used a strategy where he would come out 3, 4 o'clock in the morning when they know the higglers are going into Kingston. And he would, by himself, I don't remember his name now, you know, I don't remember his name now. Oh, I don't remember his name. But he would come at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and just make a spot check. So the higglers, show me your receipt as to how you came by these goods. And if you can't present your receipt to him, he would actually take the goods away from you. If you can't produce a receipt, man, God, I don't remember his name now, you know. He would take the goods away from them. And at that time, we experienced a little lull. Because like even when mango season, they would kill, every year they kill like 2 persons in the field. Every year. I'll write a receipt and I'll give it to you. And because those spot checks are not being made now and then, you will sometimes, even myself will sometimes sell people goods and they don't take a receipt and you still going to Kingston. But when that police officer was here, they were scared, they just want the receipt, they want the receipt. But now the police don't make a spot check.
All right, firstly, on the enforcement side, I would like to see the officers, a team itself, an exclusive team for Praedial Larceny, and to be equipped. And the resources is mobilization. Right, the roads in St. Thomas are really bad, and you have roads that are not that accessible by a big vehicle. So bikes and 4-wheel drive vehicle would be necessary for them.
What we need to do at the moment is the Praedial Larceny unit. We have to ensure that it is back on stream, and that we have to ensure that it has some vehicles.
As you just mentioned, it's a community activity, right? Between the police and other stakeholders like RADA, JS and other stakeholders. Well, in my mind, I think more or less if the police have a more conscious one-on-one reason with farmer, I think it will more alleviate some of these Praedial Larceny stuff.
Well, I think that proper police present in the area and a frequent mode that will stem and basically, like I said, traceability. That will be one of the things as well.
Produce in the field are sprayed with very deadly chemical. And the next morning you come, the goods is missing and they're going to sell it to unsuspecting persons who bite and then they get ill. So from that health point, they need definitely to curb Praedial Larceny, definitely, without a doubt. It's very, very dangerous.
I would like to say all officers and members of the security force, we would like to see you present more frequently in the farming community, and you have a one-on-one relationship with the farmers and get to know the farmers and the buyers as well, so you could properly dictate who is farmers and who is buyers, so that will limit the level of Praedial Larceny within the agriculture sector.
The larceny has become so organized in recent times. Now that you find that these persons are probably into the middle to upper class, now how do you balance that with the justice system? Because nowadays people just buy out their way out of getting fairness in terms of the justice system. So how do you strike a balance with that?
Good afternoon. Can farmers buy a regular receipt book instead of the JS agricultural receipt book?
Yeah, me have a little piece of small farm where in my backyard where me plant some callaloo. Sometimes it's enough, so me have to really sell somebody some. Me really have to have receipt to really do all something like that. Why is it me have to have a receipt book for sell like 25 pounds of callaloo?
Me Ben in a star. Anytime you no catch the criminal and you no carry them go court, the judge let them go. Why?
Is it true that you have to inform the police before you slaughter your animals?
I'm basically curious to really find out, since we have a Praedial larceny unit in Jamaica still, the success rate, because I myself as a Jamaican, I really don't believe in terms of the justice system, in terms of success rates in catching criminals as compared to overseas. It relies on persons such as witness. So if someone steals my cassava, I have to finger point mode. Why we can't use technology to basically intervene in terms of catching the criminal?
Praedial Larceny, yeah. The boy them coming on me yard. Pies me dog, teeth off me goat, yes them teeth off me hog. You know it's hard. Be achieve where you have. When the next man a thief and a rap, the boy them coming on me yard. Pies me dog, teeth off me goat, yes them teeth off me hog. You know it's hard. Be achieve where you have. When the next man a thief and a rap. Praedial Larceny, yeah.